Hey y'all, hi. Happy New Year. We're working on the studio, finally. This isn't its final form, but already way better than it was before, don't you think? We are gonna paint back there, considering green. Let me know if you have any paint color suggestions. So today we're talking about how to build an effective tool in the form of an inspo board, like a mood board or a personal style image board, to help you unlock your own creativity and access the personal style that you want for yourself in the year of 2026, or really ever. But it's January, so we're gonna say in the year of 2026. I have a 4-step method for you. Each step has steps, but it's not as complicated as that sounds. And really the goal here is for you to end up with something that you can make use of, because I think that it's easy to gather images and be inspired vaguely, but then not actually have it transfer, like not have it work for you or work on you. I'm really excited for this video. I can't wait to share. And along the way, I'm going to be sharing my 2026 personal style inspo board. Let us now get into the meat of the video. So step 1, a picture collecting frenzy. Go on a bender collecting pictures. I use Pinterest. I love Pinterest, so I'm going to be referencing that as we go along, but you can apply this method to any method of picture collection. So if you just screenshot images and save them in a folder on your phone, all of these same parameters will apply if you save them on Instagram or whatever. First step of the picture collecting frenzy, my first guideline, is to add pictures to your mood board of items of clothing that you actually already own and that you already wear a lot. Or, pictures that contain pieces that are so similar to things that you already own that you don't need to buy more of those things. So for me, I added pictures of my Baba sweaters, those big chunky wool knit sweaters that I love so much. I have a bunch of them, and I put pictures of the silhouettes and colors of Baba sweaters that I actually already own onto my mood board. I also collected a lot of images of people wearing loafers because I love to wear loafers. They're not the exact loafers that I own and wear. That's not what matters. They are outfits that make use of loafers. So already we're thinking of the personal style inspo board project as kind of like a reframing and rearranging of the contents of our own wardrobes instead of a starting from scratch. So it's giving you something to build on that's already there, and it doesn't feel so overwhelming. We're like grounding the personal style for the future in the personal style of the present and the past. So this is going to be an evolution that's much more doable than making something out of nothing. It also helps you remember how much you already have and makes it more about aesthetics and personality and less about like fantasy. I also went through and added some pictures of Baroque pearls because I'm so into these Baroque pearl jewelry pieces from Gingiberi, and I want to wear them like more casually this year, like more as part of my everyday outfit. Gingiberi is my video sponsor today, so I'm going to take a minute and show you some good close-up footage of these pieces and talk a little bit about the styling of them. Pearls can actually be hard to capture on camera. It's hard to film and to really get those iridescent overtones on the pearls to really capture the luster, but it wasn't actually as hard as usual to do that with the Baroque pearls on the Lucienne necklace. These pearls are really soap bubble, really rainbowy, and I think you can see it here. In some light, they seem to like glow from within. I did my best to capture it on camera. And my experience with this necklace so far is that the organic shapes of the pearls makes it feel super unfussy and modern to me. It's easily wearable. It feels a bit chunky, like in a comfortable way. And the pearls are medium sized. They're fairly uniform. So it's just so well balanced, which is quintessential Gingiberi, right? Luxurious, tasteful, very elegant, but still interesting. These are the asymmetric Ariel earrings, which I love. I'm so into asymmetric earrings right now. Both earrings can detach from the base and be used as a pendant. A lot of Gingiberi jewelry is modular, and there's something about a modular pearl piece. I'm still totally obsessed with the dangling part of the tassel love earring. I've been wearing that one pearl chain just in my left ear for months now, almost every single day, but like switching out the stud. Gingiberi has also begun offering lab-grown diamond jewelry, which you know, I'm a huge fan of lab-grown diamonds. And this, once again, a slightly unexpected modern design on this ring. It's a classic square cut diamond, a classic setting, a classic band, 14 karat gold, but the orientation of the square is like that on the band. So it's like just a slight twist to make it interesting, but without it being wild. They also just released a couple of ear cuffs, which I love to see. One of my favorite kinds of jewelry is an ear cuff. And I especially appreciate this one with a bunch of sparkly diamonds and then a little pearl just perched on the edge. Gingiberi offers free worldwide shipping, hassle-free returns, tax-inclusive shopping, and the pricing is very competitive. The pearls are like a fifth of the price of a brand like Mikimoto, and the lab-grown diamonds are priced way lower than mainstream brands like Brilliant Earth. So having these images on my mood board, it's like stuff that I already have, but rearranged in a way that's inspiring to me. It's already working. And I just put together this mood board and I like put it together as I was putting together this video. And I woke up this morning so excited to wear these pearl earrings. So another tip for the picture gathering frenzy, when you like an image, like when you find an image that you really like and you add it to your collection, think about what search terms you would have used to get that exact image and then use those search terms. So, you know, I've been really obsessed with this image of this painter in her studio wearing a white button down and black pants. I've been talking about it for like the better part of my life on YouTube. So this year when I was building my mood board, I searched artist in her studio because I was like, that's what I would have searched for to get that image. And let me tell you, the success, it was like the gold mine of images for me. And I ended up adding so many images to my mood board. Being so inspired, it's all like right up my alley. Not all of the pictures that turned up, but it led me down a path that's not the same path that I would have gone down if I had searched white button down black pants, you know? It's like thinking a little bit outside the box. Another way to sort of do that is to search specifically for brand imagery of brands whose aesthetics you like. So I did this year with Ozma, of course. Ozma is like one of my favorite clothing brands. I love their aesthetic and I love the styling and the photography. So I just searched on Pinterest, Ozma of California, Ozma button-down shirt, Ozma pants. And it's not just images from the Ozma website that come up, but other people wearing Ozma, styling them with other garments, styling the clothes with other garments, and then other clothes that are kind of along the same lines and photography that's along the same lines. So it's just like another slightly different pathway. I also really love this brand Paloma Wool that makes that sweater that I have with the face on it. I don't know if y'all see that very often because it's like below the line of like, it's down here, but you'll see a picture of it on my mood board. I searched Paloma Wool knitwear, and ended up adding pictures to my mood board, not necessarily of garments that I like want to buy, but of people wearing clothes in the way that I want to wear clothes. The brand identity for those clothing brands and the styling is like aligned with what I want for myself. So searching from those angles, it can kind of help you kindle like an aesthetic, light the fire of an aesthetic for yourself as you're going through and like doing that blitz of gathering images. So that's step one, just image, going down every pathway, trying to kind of think outside the box. Step two is to seek the practical. So drilling down a little bit into what is actually practical for you in your everyday. And I have two ways for you to potentially look at this. One is to be practical about the use of clothes for you, i.e., what do you do in your clothes? And then we're still image gathering here. I mean, that's what the whole video is about, right? But then find images of people who are doing what you do in your clothes in their clothes and put them on your mood board, like bloat your mood board with that to tether it to reality. So for me, I'm at home a lot. I'm working from home a lot. I am barefoot usually when I'm at home. So an outfit, it kind of needs to make some sort of sense barefoot and also make sense with shoes. You know, like just loungewear pajamas doesn't really make sense with shoes in the way that I want my clothes to make sense. But not all outfits that you would wear out make sense barefoot. So I was like I'm looking for images of people at home, working at home, barefoot in their clothes to fill out my mood board with something that's an actual reflection of my daily life. So that's being practical about the use of your clothes. The other consideration is to be practical about the aesthetic of your clothes, the aesthetic effect of your clothes, to collect pictures of not necessarily of people who look like you, like not only of people who look a lot like you. I feel like that's too narrow, but it is valuable in this context to seek pictures of people who wear clothes in the way that you wear clothes naturally. Like the clothes lie on them the way that clothes lie on you. This can be quite concrete. Like for me, I'm a very tall size medium. I'm 40 years old. So you can see that reflected in the images on my mood board, right? But it can also be sort of abstract. Like I have a fairly dramatic presence, like visual presentation. I'm calm but creative. You know what I mean? Like those are sort of abstract. You can also see that reflected in my mood board. Those things go beyond whether somebody like looks the same as you. You know what I mean? But they still are under the umbrella of being practical about the aesthetic effect of your clothes. So we've gone through a picture collecting frenzy. We have gone through a phase of picture collecting during which we were seeking the practical, and we've filled the mood board with all of that. And then step 3 is to whittle away, to curate the big pile of images that you have instinctively and in some cases intentionally collected, curate them to create for yourself a truly useful tool. You have to whittle the mood board into a shape that will actually be useful for you and not just kind of send your mind scattering all over the place. You want it to help you get yourself together and not to like confuse and undo you more. Does that make sense? So here in step 3, we come across my biggest piece of advice. And this is something I've talked about before, but it might not occur to you or you might forget. I actually tend to forget about this. And then I have to go back and remind myself. And I'm going to do it. I have to go through my mood board right now and do a little bit of curation. And I'm going to do it with this piece of advice in mind. So when you're adding to your board, you can think about this. It's especially important to think about it when you're going through and trimming, taking out pictures that aren't actually going to serve you. Ask yourself, would I wear this entire outfit realistically in my life? Would I wear this entire outfit on my body? Could I? Do I want to? So often I'm compelled to save an image on Pinterest or add an image to my inspo board. And if I actually ask myself like, well, would I wear this entire thing? It's like, well, no. There's just something I like about it. It makes me think of something. It makes the cylinders fire, but I wouldn't actually wear it. Okay, so if that's the case, it just does not belong on your curated 2026 personal style inspo board. What I suggest doing is creating a secondary board that's like fantasy fashion or artistic style inspiration or something, where you save images that are really inspiring to you, but aren't necessarily reflective of what you yourself can see yourself actually wearing. Don't delete all those images, just move them to another place. Because I think it can be really useful. It is really useful to look at images of people who don't look anything like you, who don't wear clothes the way that you do, and who are wearing things that you would never wear. To look at those images, to connect with them, and to ask yourself, what do I love about this? And how would that translate to my life? Like, what would the translation be? Because the more that you see, the more that you process, and the more you are like open, you know, the better you can sort of place yourself in the larger context of aesthetics globally and historically, right? Like everything that is real, placing yourself in it within a broad scope instead of a false narrow scope. And that is what creates a true sensibility, right? A true sensibility about your choices. Do, by all means, save images that are not images of outfits that you yourself would wear. In fact, I implore you to do that. I just implore you to save them on a different board, save them somewhere else. Because for a very functional inspo board, for that precise tool that we're trying to craft, you need to be able to see yourself in it without too many steps to get from here to there. Kind of like close the gap so that your inner eye doesn't have to work so hard to make the translation from the image to your actual life and to yourself. So maybe it's aspirational, like it's not real yet, it's not how you dress yet, but it needs to be at least within the realm of possibility. Like it's maybe not real yet, but it needs to be realistic. So go through and trim out the pieces that don't fit that parameter. And I'll give you a couple examples of what I'm doing for myself. This stunning runway image of a taupe button down over over a mustard colored skirt with stockings and flat pointed shoes with a jean jacket with a red scarf over top. This is so pleasing to me. I immediately added it to my board because there's so much about it that I could get wood. I could gather wood in this. I could tend to the fire in this skirt and sweater, but not the stockings and the shoes. And I just know that I wouldn't wear these colors together. I wouldn't wear stockings with a skirt like this. It would kind of make a girl out of me, and I'm a woman at this point. You know, it is implying something. It's adjacent to something that I'm after, but I wouldn't actually wear this outfit. So I'm taking this off of my mood board. Same with this stunning image of a woman standing on a city street next to an old Christmas tree. I love the layered knits. I love the overall vibe. I love the fabrics. I don't wear blue and orange, and I definitely don't wear them together. So I just would never wear this color combination. I would feel like I was dressed up as someone else. So I'm taking that off of my mood board and putting it on a different board. This one's tough. I love, love, love this image of the striped dress with the plaid puffy coat and the sneakers. This was in like my login. I think this was maybe in one of the videos that I talked about login look, just like a layered look. I think that she looks amazing and I really love this outfit. If the colors were different, I'd wear it. You know, if it was all neutrals and maybe just one pop of color, but the blue and the red and the yellow all layered together, it is just not me. I absolutely wouldn't wear that. So I'm going to take it off this board in particular, because even though those images are really exciting and inspiring, and that's why I'm still going to save them and look at them just elsewhere, once everything is weeded out, that's not an example of something that you'd actually actively wear and that you can truly see yourself wearing, you end up with something so powerful. The condensed version of the mood board that's super saturated with images that resonate with you on a lot of different levels is such a powerful tool, and helps you so much, is so much more actively helpful than just a huge photo dump of images that each have about them one thing that you kind of like, but you have to sort of do some extra thinking to figure out what it is and how it would apply to you. So once you've ended up with this edited, curated, condensed, dense, super saturated reflection of your desire and your vision, right? Really, really clear. And usually in my experience, because I've done this several times, pretty repetitive. Like once you've done that, you'll find that you've ended up with a lot of repetition, the same type of thing over and over again. That's the key though, because then you can sit back. This is step 4, right? So we have collected pictures in a frenzy. We've sought practical examples of images. We've curated, removed everything. You've removed everything that you wouldn't actually wear. And now you can go on to step 4, which is to sit back, assess, extrapolate, and learn, and then potentially kind of make a plan if you need to act. But you might learn that you don't really need to. So these are the questions I recommend asking yourself once you have ended up with the sharp tool of the board, once you followed all of the other steps. I'm going to ask them of myself and answer them right now as an example. So question number 1, if this was someone else's board, someone else's personal style mood board, and you looked at it with fresh eyes for the first time, what would you identify for them as being their preferences? Like try to look at it objectively. So for me, when I do that, it's like white button downs all over the place. And I know that I like white button downs and I have a number of them, but even in that case, the level at which I thought I loved them is like outstripped by the level at which I actually do love them, as evidenced by all of these pins, right? I think I like them, and I like them as sort of a wardrobe staple and a fallback. But judging from my mood board and all of these pictures I've pinned, there's nothing that gets me going like a white button down. There's nothing I'd rather wear than a white button down. And when I was pinning these images, saving them, I kind of felt like that. I felt like everyone who wasn't wearing a white button down was like only most of the way there. The people wearing white button downs, I was like, okay, this person gets it. This outfit is really hitting it out of the park. I'm sort of showing myself a thing that I think that I sort of lie to myself about, right? I think that also a white button down is so lovely and classic. And lately I've been like, but it's boring, it's predictable. But looking at these pictures, I don't feel that way at all. So it's sort of refreshing. It's giving me permission to love a white button down as much as I actually do. Flat leather shoes. I have some like glove flats and flat shoes that I've been wanting to start wearing around the house and wearing more. I just haven't really done that. They're all over my mood board. People wearing leather flats, leather slides, glove flats, loafers, just those like flat foot-hugging leather shoes. If I didn't know me and I looked at this, I would be like, this person is obsessed with glove flats. Also trousers, which I did already know, and scarves. trousers and scarves all over the place. Another question to ask yourself when you're looking at your completed edited mood board. What do you see here that you like about how you already dress? Like, what do you see here that's a reflection of what you're already doing that you really like? For me, it's the whole like artist at home thing. I feel like when I searched that term and started saving images of an artist in her studio or an artist in her home, I started to see images that have more in common with how I actually look on a daily basis, especially when I've kind of gotten myself together, than my aspirational saved images usually do. It's like the mood board's starting to converge more with actual life, but also still be inspirational. It's something that I'm really excited to try to do more, but it's something that I also am kind of already doing, and those two things are sort of feeding each other. It's like I've been feeding realism into the mood board with the way that I searched for practical images, and then I'm receiving feedback from that act. And then the equal and opposite question, what do you see that's aspirational when you look at this? And for me, it's sort of the same thing. It's just trying a little harder for it. You know, like I know that I can be a bit more put together as the artist in her home in the way that these images, the ones I've saved, show. If I just put in a little bit more work every day that I want to do, I don't mean like work harder, try harder. It's just take care of myself, make the time, realize that I'm going to feel so much better about myself if I put on my artist in her home drag instead of staying in my sweatpants, even though they're really comfortable and nobody is going to see me in them. So it's like tempting to stay in them, but it just doesn't get me going. I don't have that vibe. And when I'm just staying in my sweatpants all day and I want this vibe so badly, I want it in my body. I want it in my home. So the thing that's aspirational to me about my mood board is like, these people are just a bit more put together, just a bit, than I often am when I'm working in my studio and I'm working in my home. And I aspire to put myself together like that every day. Okay, a great question. What do you see on your board that you can easily start doing more of using what you already own? I love this question, and I find it so easy to answer because I always end up, and especially this year, I've ended up saving a bunch of images of garments that I already have and I'm just not wearing them. And that's so true right now. The silk scarf thing, like a silk bandana or a silk scarf, I just need to find a couple of silk scarves that I have and start wearing them. I love these images of like silk scarves with chunky sweaters, silk scarves with blazers. Speaking of blazers, the tweed blazer. I have this gorgeous tweed blazer that I got last year. I never wear it. I never wear it in the home as a layer of warmth. I really never wear it. But there are a couple of extremely inspiring images of tweed blazers on the artist in her studio that have got me wanting to grab it like tomorrow and wear it. So that's really exciting. And I can start doing that right away. As mentioned, the leather flats at home, the Baroque pearl necklace with soft sweaters, just the Baroque pearls in general with casual clothes. That's such a beautiful accent on my mood board and something that'll be really easy for me to do. I'm already doing it. Also, I've stopped wearing my belts. It just always feels like a bridge too far. And I regret that. I think looking at these outfits on my mood board, it's making me want to wear my belts more, to just take that extra step and put the belt on with the trousers. It's a little thing that adds so much and makes a person feel so put together. And it still makes sense barefoot, still makes sense at home. So I'm going to start wearing my belts more. And then the last question, after you've asked yourself what you can start doing more of using what you already own, the last question is any wish list items, right? Is there anything that you have saved over and over and over and over again that's something that you don't own or that you can't create with what you own that you can justifiably put on your wish list or plan to potentially purchase this year? And you've sort of unlocked the knowledge that it would be a good purchase because you saved so many images. There have been times when I haven't realized how much I wanted to add something to my wardrobe until I created a board like this. And I was like, wow, almost every other picture has loafers in it or something, almost every other picture has red socks. I clearly just want a pair of red socks. I suggest asking that last after you ask yourself all of the other things, because this is about so much more than shopping. right? It's about building the personal style is about so much more than putting things on your wish list and acquiring them. It is so much about reassessing the way you interact with and rearrange the clothes that you already have. So hopefully you'll have ended up with an image collection or a mood board that will help you focus your energy on that instead of sort of scattering and diffusing your energy, like, light scattering all over the place, which I think if you don't curate, if you don't whittle it down, sometimes a mood board can do that. It can make you feel more lost than found, For me, going through these motions over the past couple of days, looking ahead to the year, this has really just made me super excited. I didn't really end up with any wish list items. Maybe some more like woolly felt trousers, because a lot of my trousers are a little bit more lightweight, like linen, summer weight, lightweight cotton. And I only have, I have a handful of winter weight, like wool tailored trousers, but some of them are quite slick, like suiting. And my mood board makes me want to go after another pair or two of tailored trousers that are in like a felt, like a soft, really woolly felted material. But even that, it doesn't feel that urgent because I have some trousers already. So it's something I'll be keeping an eye out for. Really what this mood board showed me is that I have everything that I need to bring my style to life, at least for the next couple of months. It's like the vibe that I'm after, the way that I want to be dressing right now. I have the tools to dress that way. I just need to do it. I just need to act on it. Put the time in, wear my clothes instead of keeping my sweatpants on, even though my work is like artist in her studio and I could wear my sweatpants without anyone else caring. I care. I clearly care because there is nary a sweatpant pinned. There's nary a sweatpant on my mood board. And I will be remembering that as I go forth from this moment. Thank you so much for being here. First face-to-face video filmed in the new space in the new year. I hope you enjoyed this one. I really did. And I'm really excited for the potential for this new setup and new background space and new ideas. I have a lot of ideas. So stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't, and don't forget to take extra good care of yourself because no matter what you are doing with your energy, you matter enough to take extra good care of yourself. You deserve it.